This is ChestertonRadio.com.
And here's the cinnamon bell.
Christmas is practically here, and Judy and Jimmy are still without their precious silver star. And unless they get it back in time to put on the very tip-top of their tree, Christmas just won't be Christmas, that's all. You remember that after Captain Tintop captured the star from the bad dolls, Santa Claus gave a grand banquet. The children were filled with excitement, and Patio Cinnamon was filled with cinnamon buns. Inasmuch as Santa was about to leave on his annual trip to the world, he offered to take the twins and Cinnamon Bear with him. And then the most terrible thing happened. Jimmy asked Crazy Quilt to hold the silver star while he climbed into the sleigh, and when he turned around, the dragon was gone. It's hard to believe that Jimmy's friend would do that, but such is the case, and right now he's running as fast as his Crazy Quilt legs will carry him.
Look at him go! Look at his split!
I knew that Crazy Quilt Dragon would show his true colors.
Oh, dear, it makes me want to cry.
Well, we'll have to hurry if we want to catch him. Oh, Nicky, you and Jimmy unhook the trailers from the sleigh. We can go faster without them.
All right, Santa. Be with you in a jiffy, Nicky. And I thought Crazy Quilt had reformed.
Huh. Once a villain, always a villain.
I don't understand why he'd do such a thing. How are you coming, boys?
This is the last. There. Come on, Nicky.
All right, take my hand, Jimmy. Up you go. Are you in, Nicky?
All set. Willikers, let's hurry.
Hi, Donner. Hi, Blitzen. Hi. Well, a little more speed there, boys. That's better.
Hurrah! Just wait till I get me paws on that double-crossing dragon.
I'm just awfully disappointed in Crazy Quilt. Me too.
Hey, tell me about this peculiar fellow. He seemed to be such a good friend of yours, and then to turn right around and make off with a silver star.
You see, Santa, he's the one who stole it in the first place, out of the big trunk in our attic.
Well, that explains it. But how did he happen to become such a great friend of yours?
Well, Cinnamon Bear helped us find him. And when he wouldn't give us the star, we yelled boo at him about 100 times. And then he jumped into the root beer ocean and lost it.
Oh, you should have seen him, Santa Claus. He came weeping through the breakers, vowing that he was a changed dragon, that he'd never do it again. Not much he wouldn't.
Oh, and you think he was just pretending to be your friend, waiting for a good opportunity to steal the star again,
I just don't know, Santa. He saved us from the Inkaboos and stood by us through all our troubles. And there were just lots and lots of times when he could have gotten away with the star easy as anything.
I see. Well, it was probably just a case of too much temptation.
Look, Santa Claus, I think we're gaining on him.
We are at that, Jimmy. But, oh, my goodness.
What's the matter?
He's heading straight for the North Pole. Faster, Donner. Faster, Blitzen. Faster. Just as I thought. There he is, trying to climb up the North Pole. Come on, everybody, after him.
Come on.
We'll have to catch him before he gets up the pole, or we'll never get him.
Why, Santa?
Why, the Misty folk live up there. They'd take him right in with them, and we'd never see Crazy Quilt or the Silver Star again. Oh, there. Oh, Donner. Oh, Blitzen. Oh.
Hey, what's the idea of stealing our star, Crazy Quilt?
Why, hello, Jimmy boy. Fancy meeting you here. What's all this yelling about the star?
You know what about the star. You've got it.
Oh, now, come. You must be mistaken, my little friend. Such a thing would never occur to me.
Why, Crazy Quilt, you big storyteller, if you didn't steal it, why did you run away like that?
Run away? But I didn't run away, Judy. I'm merely getting a bit of exercise, trying out my new snowshoes. Oh, great sport.
And I suppose you use snowshoes to climb the North Pole? And if so, where are they?
Where are what?
The snowshoes, you villain, the snowshoes.
Oh, I just dropped them off to be half sold.
Oh, don't pay any attention to him, children. He's got the star all right. I can see it. It's sticking out of his hip pocket.
I'm so ashamed of you, Crazy Quilt. After we trusted you and everything.
We won't ever believe in you again, ever.
Oh, my friends, my dear, dear companions, don't talk like that. You'll make me feel... Oh,
Look, he slipped a bit.
No, he's got hold again.
Oh, can't any of you climb after him? If he reaches the top, we're lost.
I know how to bring him down. Remember, Jimmy? We'll all yell boo at him.
oh, no, not that.
Come on, everybody. Now, 1, 2, 3. Boo!
He's down. Let's get him, Judy.
All right. After him, children. After
There
him.
he is.
Get in there, Nicky. Get
All
in.
right,
Get him. Come on.
At last, I got you, Crazy Quilt. And I'm feeling extra specially ferocious. Garrot.
Tickle him, Jimmy. Tickle him.
Oh, my friends, to think how beautiful friendship should end like... no.
Oh, he's turning over. Grab the star, Jimmy.
I've got it, Patio Cinnamon. I've got the silver star.
Oh, you crazy quilt dragon. Thought you'd get away with it, huh? I'll teach you to trifle with cinnamon bears. Shake him up, children. Shake him up. Shake him up. Shake him up.
Wake up, children.
What's that?
Tickle him, Jimmy. Tickle him good.
Oh, that's all right, Judy. I've got the silver star.
Children, what in the world are you doing? Get up off the floor. You're all tangled up in that old crazy quilt. Did you fall asleep? Oh, dear, I hope you didn't catch cold.
Cold? It isn't cold, Mother. Not like it is in the snow country.
Sure. It's a lot colder at the North Pole.
What? My darlings, are you ill? Have you got a fever? Let Mother feel your hands. You're talking so strangely.
We're all right, Mother. We had a most elegant time.
We sure did. The silver star was gone because the Crazy Quilt Dragon stole it. But Santa Claus helped us catch him and get it back.
You don't seem to have any fever. Now, hurry up, both of you. Daddy's home.
Did he bring the Christmas tree?
Yes, dear. And he wants you to come down and help him decorate it. My goodness, I wouldn't have let you come up here in the attic if I thought you'd go to sleep.
But we didn't go to sleep, Mother. We went to Maybeland.
Oh, Jimmy, look at poor Patio Cinnamon on the floor. And he's only about 4 inches high anymore.
Can we take the cinnamon bear downstairs with us, Mother?
The what?
Why, the cinnamon bear. You know, Patio Cinnamon. We found him in the trunk, and he's the one who took us through Maybeland. And we had lots and lots of swell adventures, too.
Oh, I see.
May we take him downstairs, Mother?
Of course you can. Now, hurry. It's beginning to get dark.
There, Jimmy. The tree's all decorated. Isn't it simply beautiful?
Uh-huh. And there's our silver star, right on top where it belongs.
And Cinnamon Bear sitting on a branch right near it.
Remember the big Christmas tree that Santa Claus had in his palace?
Yes, and remember how we watched our wonderful, wonderful Christmas tree parade with all the toys and dolls?
You bet. And we rode on Santa Claus's miniature train, and I got to drive it and everything. You know what, Judy?
What?
I wonder if we really did fall asleep up in the attic like Mother said.
I don't know, Jimmy. It's all sort of mixed up like.
It sure is. But I just don't see how we could dream all of it.
What do you mean?
Well, look at Patio Cinnamon. We didn't dream him.
Of course we didn't. Dear little Cinnamon Bear. I bet he's about the best friend we've got.
And what about the Crazy Quilt Dragon, Judy?
Well, don't forget that we found our silver star in the Crazy Quilt up in the attic.
Sure, but it was a dragon when we were up at the North Pole. You know, maybe it all got changed around like that because Mother came up to look for us.
Grown-up folks don't believe in magic very much, I guess.
No, they just say you're sick or you've been asleep or something.
I wonder if we stayed awake tonight, do you suppose we'd see Santa Claus? We could ask him about it and thank him for helping us catch Crazy Quilt.
Oh, I don't think we'd better do that, Judy.
Why not, Jimmy? We've just got to find out, don't we?
Well, it would be nice, all right. But don't forget what Santa told us. Children can't see him if they stay awake.
That's right, he did.
I guess we just better keep it a secret, Judy.
You mean about looking for the Silver Star?
Yes. Because nobody would believe us anyhow.
But we believe us, don't we, Jimmy?
I suppose so. But gee willikers, I wish Mother hadn't said that about us going to sleep. It makes me kind of wonder.
Well, anyway, we've got our Silver Star. And best of all, we've got Patio Cinnamon.
You know what, Judy? Let's put him up on the tree every Christmas.
Yes, I think we should. After all, that's where he belongs. Right near the Silver Star where he can guard it. And see that nobody ever steals it again.
I'm the cinnamon pear.
Jimmy, I thought I heard something.
Why, it sounds like Patio Cinnamon singing his very own song.
But Jimmy, he's only 4 inches high.
Listen, Judy.
Oh, Jimmy, it is the Cinnamon Bear. Maybe we weren't dreaming after all.
Now I'll growl.
Hurrah!
And I'll growl.
Karoo!
And if you like to fret, I'm much obliged to you.
And so ends the story of the Cinnamon Bear. Whether Judy and Jimmy dreamed these adventures or whether they really happened doesn't matter. They were truly wonderful and certainly most magical. And now that the Silver Star is shining brightly on the very tip-top of Judy and Jimmy's tree, we can smile our biggest holiday smile and say, a Merry Christmas to you all. We hope you'll always remember little Patio Cinnamon, the Cinnamon Bear. That's the one thing that will make him very happy. And I can tell you on his behalf, he'll be much obliged to you.
Less than 3% of the population were in towns of more than 10,000. Most immigrants lived on the land, but cities were beginning to flourish. Revolutionary Philadelphia, with its 40,000 inhabitants, was the first colonial city in size. New York was second with 25,000. Boston, with 16,000, third. Charleston, the largest city of the South, numbered 12,000. America was growing. And in spite of all adversity, America was destined to continue its growth. Why? Possibly because America was a dream for freedom-loving people, then as it is today.
This is Chesterton Radio, your home for podcasts of works by G.K. Chesterton, plus drama, comedy, mystery, science fiction, big bands, and much more. The soundtrack to your Chesterton day at chestertonradio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. Dragnet. You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to burglary division. You get a call that an important piece of religious art has been stolen from the oldest church in Los Angeles. There's no lead to its whereabouts. Your job? Find it. Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Wednesday, December 24th. It was cold in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of burglary division. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Captain Bernard. My name's Friday. I'd gone across the street to buy stamps for some Christmas cards I was sending out. It was 9:15 a.m. when I got back to room 45. Burglary. I sat down at a table in the squad room and I started to address the cards when Frank walked in carrying a stack of Christmas boxes.
Hi,
Joe. Hi. Christmas cards, huh? A little late, aren't you? Well, I was going to send them out Monday, but we had that stakeout. You ought to get married, Joe. Yeah. Laundry, mails, cards, only system. Might help. Want to open it now? I always open a couple a day book. Sure. Who's he? What do you mean, a comic book? No. One of those funny ones, you know. No, I don't, Frank. Well, some of the pages have holes in them. You look through and there's a picture on the next page. Oh, yeah, I've seen those on the newsstand. They have cloth pasted in. Cloth? In the ads. If you want to buy a suit, sample right there. You mean you can feel it? Reach right out and feel it. There was one for $200. A suit? Sure. Cloth comes from Scotland. What's it made out of? Solid gold? No, they got a special kind of goat over there. It's real smooth. Not a goat, Frank. A sheep. Well, it's a special kind of sheep, then, because a suit costs $200. You gonna get one? I told Faye. She said, wear the sample. Anything doing? Fanning and Pryor were in on that market holdup. They come up with anything? Nothing else. I hope it stays quiet. I got more shopping to do. I finished. You should have some envelopes, leather binding. Joe, you'll never learn. Well, what's the matter? No one wants a stationery set. There's nothing personal. Well, it's got initials on it. No. You want something more sentimental, romantic. Did you get Faye? It's different in the case. What'd you get, Faye? Sewing machine. Automatic. Well, there's no way. Why didn't you buy Thatcher's? Burger ready. Yes, that's right. You have the right department. All right, Father, we'll be around. No, you can tell us about it there. Good night. The old church they've left. Frank and I checked out of the office and rode over to the church at the corner of Sunset Boulevard and Main. The old Mission Plaza Church, founded 1781, the year Los Angeles became a pueblo. The outside was typical early Spanish design, complete with mission arches. It was of adobe and painted white. They called it the Queen of the Inn. The Padres from Del Mexico built it. The Mexicans in town still again serves there. Till 5 a.m. Frank and I crossed through the courtyard. It used to be the old stable, but the Spanish priest changed all that when it came mission. Stonemasons paved the stable floor and made it a courtyard. They planted grapevines, trees, and flowers. A young priest crossed the courtyard to meet us. He'd been sitting on a stone bench reading his morning prayers as priests done here for 172 years. We asked for Father Xavier Rojas, who had communicated with us. We were told he was inside. We entered a side door. The church seemed to glow with the hundreds of votive candles flickering on both sides of the altar and at the shrines throughout the church. It was empty except for a few people praying. Surrounding the main altar were several old oil paintings in gold frames. The air was heavy with the scent of Advent flowers. We found Father Rojas up near the sanctuary, looking at the nativity scene. He told us about the crib. It was a $70 duplication of the scene at Bethlehem. The parishioners had taken up a collection for it 31 years ago. It was put up every year on December 22nd and taken down after the holy season. It was beautiful, except that one of the shepherds had lost an arm, the sheep was old and cracked, and the infant Jesus was missing. Father Rojas led us back into the sacristy.
I'm sorry to bother you, man.
It's all right, Father.
Especially now, the holiday season.
We cash our checks, Father. You want to tell us what happened? Or what you think happened?
I discovered the statue was missing right after the 6 o'clock Mass.
You say the 6?
Yes. I started over to the rectory and stopped by the crib.
Was the statue there before Mass?
I don't know, but it was there last night.
How late is the church open?
All night.
You leave it wide open so any thief can walk in?
Particularly thieves, Sergeant.
You say it was there last night, Father? How late?
10 or 11 o'clock. We had confessions.
No one saw it after that?
One of the altar boys, he says it may have been there. He thinks it was.
Did he see it?
He's not sure.
What's his name?
Pardon me. Here's the schedule. You'll find the names for every Mass there.
Was there a big crowd at the 6 o'clock Mass, Father?
Not too many. 7's the big one. People on their way to work.
Did anyone stay after Mass, did you notice?
Not especially. I came back here, took off the vestments. I suppose it was 10 or 15 minutes before I went back in the church.
It was empty then?
No, people were coming in for the 7 o'clock.
Are these the altar boys, James Cornine and Joseph Heffernan?
That's right. Joe's the one who mentioned it might have been there.
Did you check with the other priests, Father?
Before I called you. None of them knows anything about it.
Just for a check on the pawn shops, how much is the statue worth?
In money?
Well, that's the point in pawn shops, Father.
Only a few dollars. We could get a new one, but it wouldn't be the same. We've had children in the parish. They've grown up and married. It's the only Jesus they know.
We understand.
And we've had children who died. It was the only Jesus they knew. So many of the people who come here are simple people. They wouldn't understand, Sergeant. It would be like changing the evening star.
We'll do our best, Father.
That's why it would mean so much to have it back for the first Mass on Christmas.
It's not very long, Father. Less than 24 hours. If anything turns up here, you know where to get in touch with us.
Yes. It's sad, isn't it?
How's that?
In so short a time, men learn to steal.
Yes, but consider us, Father.
Us?
If some of them didn't, you and I'd be out of work. 10:50 a.m. We notified pawn shop detail. Frank and I checked out the two altar boys. The first one, James Cornine, said he knew nothing about the missing statue. The second one, Joseph Heffernan, was not at home. His father said he had a part-time job, but he'd have him get in touch with us right after lunch. By 11:30 a.m., we'd run out of book procedure. We had a man to find. Our only clue, he'd been to church. 11:33 a.m. We checked the phone books for the names of religious stores in the area. 2 of them were closed. We tried the third. When we got there, the only person in the store was an elderly man sitting by a table. In front of him was a large, beautifully carved chess set. We're police officers. My name's Friday. This is my partner, Frank Smith.
Great to see you. Caught me in the middle of a big chess match.
Where's your partner?
Up in San Jose. We've been playing for years.
Same match?
No, just 2 or 3 months on this one. What I meant was we've been playing different matches for years.
I see.
You know, we do it through the mail. I send him a move, he sends me one.
Must keep you on your toes.
Except during the holidays, the mail gets all fiddled up. That's no good.
Guess not.
Slows things down, that's no good. I like to catch him off guard.
You Mr. Flavin?
How'd you know? We never met.
Your name's on the window out front.
Mr. Flavin, we checked the other 2 religious stores in this neighborhood. They're closed.
It's the best one anyway. 50% European items.
We're checking the stores around the Mission Church.
For what?
Statue of the Child Jesus. Do you have one we could look at?
Sure.
No, sir, a larger one.
You don't want a larger one, unless it's for a church. That's where you want a larger one.
Could we see it, please?
It's not my due to butt in. But unless you live in a big place, this will make your living room all the kilder.
Yes, sir. Do most of the people who go to the Mission Church trade here?
Good many of them, especially the kids.
Why kids?
More religious. Check on yourself. See if kids aren't more religious than you.
Might be so.
That's what's wrong with the world. Oh, I don't mean you're wrong with it. Everybody.
Yes, sir. What if we could stick to the point, Mr. Flavin?
Sure. A lot of people from the Mission Church come in here.
Do people ever come in and sell back a religious article?
Like a prayer book or rosaries?
Yes, sir.
Second hand, you mean?
Yes, sir.
Not since I've ever been around. It's silly.
Why?
People don't have religious articles so they can get rid of them. They have them so they can have them.
But if a man had a statue and wanted to sell it, he'd come to a place like this.
Sure, but he wouldn't want to sell it.
He would if it was stolen.
No, sir. If a man was to steal a statue, he'd be crazy or something like that. The only place he'd want to go is where crazy people are.
You may be right, Mr. Flavin.
I don't know what you fellas are looking for, but if it's somebody who stole a statue, he's crazy and you won't find him. You won't find him as long as you live, or in 1,000,000 years.
That should cover it. We checked religious stores out as far as Van Ness. We asked the same questions. The owners gave us the same answers, but none of them were as encouraging as Mr. Flavin. Frank and I had lunch and reported back to the office. It was 1:30 p.m. when we started into the squad room. The captain was just coming out.
I just checked for you in the lunchroom.
We've been out on that theft at the mission.
May get some action on the Patterson case.
They locate him?
I think he's on the bus from Sacramento.
Well, that means the Bakersfield police.
We'll wait and see.
Are one of you fellas Sergeant Friday?
He is.
I'm Joe Heffernan. My father said you wanted to see me.
Well, sit down, son. You didn't have to come in. A phone call would have worked.
My father said to get on over. He says that any kid that uses phones is lazy.
We want to ask you about this morning. You serve 6 o'clock Mass?
Yes, sir. I'm senior boy, so I get the 6.
You're a senior and you take the early trick?
Yes, sir. That way, if you receive communion, you get to have breakfast sooner.
Father Rojas says you think the statue was there before Mass.
I didn't look, but I have a feeling it was there.
A feeling?
You know, how you have a feeling about something, but you're not sure.
Did you stay around long after Mass?
I put out the candles and hung up my surplice.
How long would that take?
About 5 minutes, maybe.
Did any of the people at Mass stay on?
Some of them always do, especially ladies.
Oh.
Maybe they don't finish in time, or else they start new prayers. I don't know.
So when you left, there were still some women there.
No, sir. That was at first. After I went back to the sacristy, there was only this one man.
What man?
He comes at 6 o'clock all the time.
Do you know his name?
No, sir. But he works down in Olive, paint shop, where they paint signs.
Could you describe him?
Sort of medium. He was wearing a suit that didn't match.
Didn't match?
Different pants than coat.
How about his age?
Oh, he's pretty old.
Take a guess.
About 40, maybe. There's nothing particular about him.
Then why'd you notice him?
I've seen him before. In the bundle, I guess.
The bundle?
Out in front. I saw him when he was coming out. He had this bundle. He almost dropped it.
How large a bundle?
It's hard to say.
Come on, son. Was it large or small? The size of the statue?
About that big. Yes, sir.
The sign shop. The suspect didn't work there anymore, but we discovered his name was Claude Stroop. We found out where he lived. 2:25 p.m. We arrived there. It was a hotel for men, mostly old men, mostly down and outers. It was called the Golden Dream.
Police officers. We're looking for Claude Stroop.
Hope Claude didn't get in any trouble.
So do we. Is he in?
No. He's got room 307. You can check if you like.
We'll take your word.
Were you on this morning?
Huh?
Do you have the early shift?
Oh, we don't have shifts. My uncle owns the place. I'm the shift.
Did Stroop spend last night here?
Came in about 11.
When did he leave this morning?
Around 6, maybe before.
Did he come back after?
8 o'clock or so. Then left. Supposed to be back at 10. And pulls this trick.
What trick?
Our program. He knows the other fellas need him.
Program?
They're here at the hotel. Every Christmas we have a program. Put up a tree and sing. They're mostly old fellas. Singing like that makes them remember back when they were kids. Then Jimmy Finn comes on.
Jimmy Finn?
He shares number 409. His family once had a lot of money, so he tells the fellas about it. Stories about Christmas. How they had this big log, and his grandfather used to start it up. And after dinner, everybody turned over his plate, and there underneath was a $20 gold piece. Brand new one.
When Stroop came in this morning, did he have a bundle?
I didn't see him come in.
You said you saw him.
I saw him go out after, but not come in.
When was that?
8. If you want to look for a bundle, I could give you his key.
We don't have a warrant.
Oh, it's all right. I know about police. It's all right with me.
It's not with us.
I didn't mean that. I just meant it was all right with me.
Good King Wenceslas looked down on the feast of Stephen. When
There were 3 old men. We couldn't tell how much better they would have been with Stroop singing the 4th part, but somehow you didn't care. This was Christmas at the Golden Dream, and it sounded fine.
That night, though the frost was cruel, when the poor men came in sight, gathering winter fuel.
This is the last rehearsal. I got most of the songs down pat.
Sounds pretty good.
That's why it's a shame Claude isn't here. He's tenor, and they need him to make it sound just right.
Does Stroop have a job?
No, sir. He used to have jobs. Not much lately, though.
Did he say where he was going?
No, he should have. The fellas need him.
When he comes in, will you call us?
Sure, and not say anything to him.
That's right.
I hope it's nothing serious for Claude. Fella's troubles ought to be over.
Troubles?
Way back. It wouldn't count.
Tell us anyway.
Well, I don't know much about it.
As much as you know. Now, come on.
It was something back where he used to live and robbed somebody or something.
What else?
That's all. It was a long time ago, way far back. But he forgot it all, the robbing and everything.
No, not quite. He remembered it this morning.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. For Jesus Christ our Savior was born upon this day.
To the office and ran Stroop's name through R&I. If he'd been booked anywhere, we had no record of it, at least not under that name. 4:15 p.m. Pawn shop detail reported back. No object resembling the statue of the child Jesus had been turned in. 4:18 p.m. I hung up the phone.
Patterson's on that Sacramento bus. I thought Bakersfield had it. They were supposed to confirm they did. Upward station.
What about Fanning and Pryor?
They're still out.
Well, they'll be back soon. When's the bus arrive?
6 o'clock.
There's plenty of time for them to make it.
There's more time for you. We're still on that theft. Can it wait?
No.
What is it, $10, $15 statue?
When's the price determine a case?
I realize it's a church statue, but that doesn't give it priority.
It's important to them, Captain. Joe and I promised to get it back.
What do you got on it?
Nothing much.
And why are you so big-hearted?
Burglary Friday. When? No. Don't say anything. No. Right. Claude Stroop. He just walked into the hotel. He's our suspect.
Nobody's leaked to him?
No.
You'll keep. You can run him down tomorrow.
It'll be too late then.
They need it for the first mass in the morning, Skipper. It's kind of a big thing for them.
I'm sorry. I can't juggle details around so you can get a statue back. If there's time later on, we'll do our best.
Yes, sir.
You better get over to the station.
Yes, sir. Will you call Father Rojas over at the mission?
Why?
Tell him we're too busy to work on that statue.
But we'll do it later. Tomorrow or when we get a chance. Why can't you call him?
Well, we better get over to the station.
If Patterson's on that bus, we don't want to miss him.
All right, I'll call him.
Friday. Yeah.
I can send finding in priority. Might as well stay on that other thing.
Whatever you say, Captain. p.m. We arrived at the Golden Dream Hotel. The desk clerk was right. Claude Stroop looked like a man who'd had his troubles at bargain rates. Your name Claude Stroop?
Yes, sir.
Police officers. We'd like to talk to you.
I didn't do anything against the law. Honest, I didn't do anything against it.
You haven't been accused.
I want to take you downtown.
We'd like to talk to you.
No, sir, I'm not going. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to talk to anybody.
You're half wrong already. .15 p.m. We returned Stroop for interrogation. He kept his word. He refused to talk. 6:05 p.m. Frank called Fay, told her he'd be a little late. Stroop didn't move for a whole hour. He sat and stared, but he didn't talk. 6:40 p.m. We got a final report from pawn shop detail. The shops were closed. There was no statue. Stroop still hadn't talked.
Don't you ever want to go home, Stroop?
If I was to talk, you wouldn't let me go.
Depends on what you'd say.
I'd say it wrong, and I wouldn't get home.
You won't this way either?
I'd like to go. You can bet on that. This is the 7th year we had the program, and I never missed a one. Not a single one.
Why don't you tell us what happened, Stroop?
How would I know you'd let me go?
You wouldn't.
I might as well anyway.
All right, what happened from Mass on?
Well, there was Mass. I came out and started down toward the hotel.
Back up.
I left my stuff at the hotel, and then I picked up George's car. I didn't steal it. He said I could have it any time I wanted. Only this time I didn't ask him. I took it and started out.
Well,
I should have asked, but I just didn't. I went over to Grand Avenue for the Christmas bulbs, for this fellow sells them secondhand. It was coming out of the lot that I did it.
Yeah?
The bumper must have caught the other car. Didn't leave too big a dent, but there was this long scratch. I got out and tried to wipe it off with my handkerchief. You know, spit on it like. Only it didn't do no good. I didn't think anybody saw. I don't know how you fellows found out about it.
I'll check auto records.
Right. Stroop, we didn't bring you down here to talk about that.
You didn't?
No. There's a statue missing from the church. The statue of the child Jesus.
You mean I took it?
You took a bundle out of church?
Yes, sir. That was my other pants for the program tonight. I had a place sewed up and there was a button on it. You can check. But I wouldn't take a statue.
I don't think you would either.
He's cleared auto records.
Go on home.
For the program? You mean it's all right?
Good night, Stroop.
Good night.
Merry Christmas.
Where to? Well, I don't know. We could stay and work on it tonight.
Wouldn't do any good. We won't find it.
I don't think so.
No use kidding the priest. Build his hopes up.
Might as well go tell him now. Merry Christmas. 7:27 p.m. We found Father Rojas. Frank told him how it was, that we couldn't get the statue back by morning, but that we'd keep trying during the week. He said he understood. We told him we had to get on. As Frank and I started to leave, the doors at the main entrance to the church opened. It was a good 200 feet away. It was hard to be sure, but it looked like a small boy drawing a bright red wagon behind him. When he got closer, you could see he was no bigger than a pint of milk. He was a luminous-eyed little Mexican boy with a face as young as yesterday. The priest seemed to... In the back of the wagon was the missing statue of the child Jesus. He picked it up gently and walked.
From Mendoza, a boy from the parish.
Ask him where he found it.
¿Dónde lo encontraste?
No lo encontré, le cogí esta mañana.
He didn't find it, he took it.
Why?
¿Por qué?
Todos los años Paquito rezó por un camioncito rojo. Año Paquito rezó al niño Jesús. Yo prometí al niño Jesús el primer viaje en mi camioncito.
He said that wagon. If he got the wagon, the child Jesus would have the first ride in it.
¿Vendrá el diablo para llevar a Paquito?
He wants to know if the devil will come and take him to hell.
That's your department, Father.
No el diablo. Jesús ama a Paquito mucho.
We crossed over to the sanctuary. With the help of Father Rojas, the young boy replaced the infant Jesus in its rightful place, the crib in the nativity scene. Frank and I could have been wrong, but the small plaster statue seemed to approve. Mary, Joseph, the wise men, Gaspar, Melchior, Balthazar, the old shepherd, the young shepherd, the peasant, they all seemed to approve.
Vuelve a tu casa, Paquito.
The priest told the boy to go home. He took hold of his wagon and started the long walk out of the church. We could say. There wasn't much to say. We just stood there and watched him go. Halfway up, he turned to look back. And he went on out.
I don't understand how we got that wagon today. Don't kids wait for Santa Claus anymore? It isn't from Santa Claus. The firemen fix old toys and give them to new children. Paquito's family, they're poor.
Are they, Father?
You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department.
For almost 2 centuries, Americans have enjoyed the valuable privileges of freedom. Now, freedom needs each American to dedicate himself to its preservation. We must not allow our liberties to be endangered by neglect of our duties as citizens. During this year of rededication, join with your fellow Americans in reaffirming the principles on which this country is founded and the safeguarding of those principles. Make it your business to see that federal, state, and local governments are conducted honestly. Help to maintain the good morale of your sons and daughters in the armed forces. Learn the facts about all candidates and issues. Then vote for the one you believe in. Make the most of every minute on your job. Produce as much as you can, and thus increase our military and economic strength. Work for better schools and a better community. Guard your American heritage of freedom. It needs you.
This is Chesterton Radio, the true, good, and beautiful at chestertonradio.com.
Don't turn that dial. This is the right station if you want to hear about Jonathan Thomas and his Christmas on the Moon. It was a cold winter's night and time to retire. And Santa Claus sat before his warm fire. He said to himself, "Well, I made that nice sled that I promised to Johnny, and I painted it red. And I fixed up that train to make it run steady. The dolls are finished. I think I'm most ready." He heaved a great sigh and said, "I'll take a nap." And just then on the door there came a loud rap. 'Twas the wicked Squeebobliums who hate Christmas cheer. And they said to Santa, "We'll fix you this year." So they tied him up tight, though he made a good fight, and carried him off through the cold, dark night. Now Jonathan Thomas, who's a wee little lad, heard what had happened, and he felt very sad. He said, "I'll find Santa, with the help, of course, of the Man in the Moon and Gorgonzola the horse." And the three started out on their perilous way to find Santa Claus before Christmas Day. Well, you'd be surprised how much trouble they've had, what with giants and goblins and things that are bad. And the wickedest kind of a wicked old witch who rules o'er a land called Rumpelstitch has done her best with her terrible magic to make the end of this story tragic. But the good fairy queen has kept them from harm. For whatever happens, she knows the right charm. And I've had faith that the three would succeed. 'Cause you can't make mistakes when you do a good deed. Well, they walked right into Looking-Glass Land, where they met Queen Alice in her court so grand, and she gave them a whistle to make them grow tall, or, if they preferred, it would make them grow small. They were chased by a dragon with 13 tails, and then the Squeebobliums put them in jail. But Jonathan Thomas, he kept his head and blew the whistle as Queen Alice said. And he grew so small, he crept under the door. And then he grew up, and what is more, he opened the door for the Man in the Moon, and they rescued Santa quicker than soon. And now they're home safe in Santa Claus Land. They're having a party that's ever so grand. I'd like to be there myself, wouldn't you? Let's listen in and hear what they do.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. For Jonathan Thomas has kept his promise, it is a happy day. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the while. Let everyone come and join the fun and wear your biggest smile.
Just look and see the Christmas tree. 'Tis such a beautiful sight. To see such cheer again this year, I could shout with all my might. For Jonathan Thomas has kept his promise and rescued Santa Claus. He's as brave as can be, as you can all see. The bravest that ever was.
Ho, ho, ho! How well I know. To me, he's such a joy. He's as brave as 10 men. And I say again, he's a mighty fine little boy. And now I trow the time has come for a speech to be heard by everyone. I told you I would, as I knew I should, and I always keep my promise. So now I present tonight's main event, a speech by Jonathan Thomas.
For gracious sakes to goodness, Jonathan Thomas, Hurry up and make a speech. Yeah. And if I know you, it'll be a peach.
But I don't know how to make a speech.
Go right ahead. Make it out of your head. For everyone wants to hear how it could be that you rescued me and bring such Christmas cheer.
But I couldn't have rescued you, Mr. Santa Claus, if it hadn't been for the man in the moon and everybody else that was so nice to help me.
Oh, flim flam and flubdud. He's only trying to flatter, for he did it, I own, by himself alone. So don't believe such chatter.
You helped me, Mr. Man in the Moon, and so did the three little dwarfs, Weasel, Sneasel, and Breezel.
That's not very true, for it was you. And that's true, Blue. So don't try to spoof, for we have proof. And we speak the truth. Jonathan Thomas, you kept your promise and rescued Santa Claus. Yeah.
Ho, ho! Hee! I guess you can see that credit is due where credit should be.
But if the three little dwarfs hadn't taught me the magic words, the wicked old witch would have gobbled me up.
I never heard of a magic word. Pray tell me, how does it go? I like a line of magic rhyme. So what is it, I'd like to know?
It's very easy, Mr. Santa Claus. You say it this way. Hansquee, nunsquee, giggledy fay.
Whenever the magic word you say of Hansquee, nunsquee, giggly vay, it is my cue to appear to you. It is the magic way.
Oh, hello, Your Majesty, if you please.
Well, bless my soul, we'll have such cheer. For now, most all of us are gathered here, but wait. There are two who are late. Well, speak of them all, and in they fall. Well, someone hurry and open the door, but wait a minute, for there's one thing more. Jonathan Thomas, now shut your eyes and stand right still. Now, open the door and let them in. It's your walrus friend and Whiskery Bill.
Hello. Oh, hello, Whiskery Bill.
It's as nice as can be for me to see that you're back again so soon. But I knew you could, as you said you would. You and the man in the moon.
Right me pink, I say. What a happy day. It's more than I could wish. Such lovely cheer. I'm glad I'm here. Will somebody throw me a fish?
Ho, 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 ho! My gracious to goodness. We're having a wonderful party. No thanks to that witch of Rumpelstitch, who thinks she's such a smarty. But let the bells ring out. We'll sing and shout and join in the fun with everyone. But we'll have to be fast, for the party can't last, because I've got to leave. For you see, I can't wait, or else I'll be late. For tonight is Christmas Eve, and I'll pack on my back my large toy sack, then into my sleigh and away through ice and snow to the world below, to be there on Christmas Day.
Oh, I feel all goose pimply, I do. 'Cause I like Christmas better than 2 times 2 times 2.
Before we go, we'd like to show how much we think of you. For you've kept your promise, Master Jonathan Thomas, a very fine thing to do. When morning does break, and when you awake, you needn't have a care, but look under your tree, and there you'll see that your toys will all be there.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Santa Claus, if you please.
We couldn't go wrong if we sang a song. Santa Claus, now what do you say? Let's have a tune before he leaves the moon to remember this happy day.
Ho, 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 ho. That's a very fine thought, and I think we ought. Oh, Strike up the music clear. Let the bells loudly ring and everyone sing. Let's have lots of Christmas cheer.
Oh, come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him.
Jonathan Thomas. Jonathan Thomas. It's time to wake, laddie boy. Jonathan Thomas. It's Christmas morning, Jonathan Thomas. Don't you want to get up? Don't you want to see what old Santa Claus left for you under the Christmas tree?
Oh, hello, Daddy. Oh, I've been up on the moon.
Uh-huh.
And I already know what Santa Claus left for me. But he told me, Daddy. He did.
Oh, you just think you know. Why, you couldn't guess in a million years.
Is it a rocking horse and a sled and a train?
Eh? Why, how did you know?
I told you that Santa Claus told me. Oh, I almost forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Gus?
Gus? Why, he's right here by your side.
Oh, my goodness. I thought he was lost. Hello, Gus. Oh. Now, come on, Daddy. Let's take Gus and go down the steps to the Christmas tree and...
Right.
Oh, wait a minute, Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
I hope every boy and girl in the world will have as wonderful a Christmas as I have. And I wish I could see them all and say, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And that goes double from all of us. And what a happy Christmas we'll have, 'cause Jonathan Thomas has kept his promise and rescued Santa Claus. And now, a Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a Happy New Year.
You are listening to Chesterton Radio at chestertonradio.com.